Hello and welcome to another video from your favorite English school. Today we're looking at Unit 3 of our beginner's book, and we're going to be covering the grammar of the book. Let's start. In this lesson, we have 3 items we are going to check. The first item is possessive adjectives. We are also going to learn how to express possession. And finally, we're going to learn how to make questions with the verb to be in present. Let's start. Okay, we already saw possessive adjectives in a previous video. Just a little reminder. Okay, so we have the the subject pronouns that you already know, which are I, he, she, it, we, you, and they. But the possessive adjective of each is different. For I, we have my. For he, we have his. For she, we have her. For it, we have its. For we have our. For you, we have your. And for they, we have their. We have a couple of examples for you. Actually, 3. The first example is, this is my brother. His name is Carl. This is my brother. His name is Carl. Now, let's identify the possessive adjectives in this sentence. As you can see, we have 2, my and his. My is because we are talking about I, and his because we're talking about my brother. In this case, we would be he. In the second example, her father is famous. Her father is famous. We have one possessive adjective, her. And we use her because we're talking about she. We are talking about a girl in this sentence. In example number 3, our English teacher is well prepared. Our English teacher is well prepared. We have one possessive adjective, in this case our, because we are talking about my classmates and me, or we. If you need more explanation, don't hesitate. You can always talk to your teacher in class. Let's continue. The second item is possession. It's very important that to express possession using a noun, if the noun is in singular, we're going to add an apostrophe and the letter S. As well as when the noun is in plural form, we're not going to add anything. We're just going to put the apostrophe after the S. Let's check some examples. Examples in singular. Carlos changes to Carlos's in its pronunciation. Carlos's. Carlos's. Mary changes to Mary's. Mary's. And as you can see, we have both elements. We have our apostrophe and we have our S. In the second example, we have the apostrophe and we also have the S. Now for plural, we have the students. The students. And here we have the S. Actually, sorry, the apostrophe. That's the only thing that you add to the word. And the doctors. Let's look at this possession expressed in a sentence. Example number 1. Carlos's car is red. Carlos's car is red. We are talking about the car that belongs to Carlos. So we have the possessive form of Carlos, which is Carlos's. In example number 2, Mary's brother is my friend. Mary's brother is my friend. The possessive form of Mary is here, which is Mary's. And because we're talking about Mary's brother, we need to use the possessive form of Mary, which is again Mary's. In the next example, we have the student's book. One more time. The student's books are here. The student's books are here. Here we have the possessive form of students. The only thing we need to add is an apostrophe, after the S. In the final example, the doctor's patients are happy. The doctor's patients are happy. Here we have the possessive form of doctors. And the only thing we need to put is the apostrophe after the plural S. Okay, now let's continue with the third item of today. We are talking about questions with the verb to be. In the affirmative form, we say, I am a good student. I am a good student. If we want to make a question, we need to do something that we always do with English questions. We're going to make an inversion of items. We're going to change this for this. And the result is, am I a good student? Am I a good student? Notice that there are two things that change. Thing number 1 is the auxiliary to be and the subject, am I, and also the intonation is different. The intonation rises at the end. Am I a good student? We have examples also. Example number 1. Is he your uncle? Yes, he is. Notice the change here and also the intonation. Example number 2. Are you at home? No, I'm not. Then we also have the inversion there. And example number 3. Am I in a problem? Yes, you are. And also we have the intonation and the inversion there. Before we finish, let's recap. This is Unit 3. We're checking the grammar of your beginner's book. We saw 3 important items in English grammar. We saw possessive adjectives, the possession of nouns, the possessive form of nouns, and questions with the verb to be. Don't forget that each subject pronoun has its own possessive adjective. My, his, her, its, our, your, and their. We saw some examples there. In possession, don't forget that the apostrophe goes before the S in singular, and in plural it goes after we checked some examples. And in questions with the verb to be, the inversion of elements is very important, as well as the intonation. We heard some examples as well. And finally, do not forget that you have to practice, practice, and practice in order to learn English very well. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. Goodbye.